Hello and welcome to my weather forecast. In today's video, we will be talking about the tornado outbreak likely to unfold across the deep south into the southeast Monday through Tuesday and even into Wednesday of next week. The Storm Prediction Center's Day 2 categorical outlook shows a slight risk of severe weather here around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, getting over towards Shreveport, Louisiana, down toward Houston, Texas, and even down towards San Antonio. And then here you have an enhanced risk of severe weather just south of Dallas-Fort Worth, down toward Waco, College Station, getting close to and actually into the Houston Metroplex area here. And then you can see a hatch tornado risk across east central Texas with an EF2 to EF5 strength tornadoes possible as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening. So a very dangerous risk here with a general 5% risk outlining up toward the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, getting over just south and west of Shreveport and down across the coastal here, Texas, and into southern portions of Texas as well. The hail risk is significant across portions here of east central Texas here, just south of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, getting down here into east central Texas, Waco, College Station, maybe even down towards San Antonio in that western half of that enhanced risk and the western half of that slight risk area with 2-inch or larger hail expected of golf ball size hail or larger. And then here a general wind risk of 30% in the eastern zone here of this slight risk. Of the slight risk and into the enhanced risk areas here as well. Then here, putting it all together, these are the temperatures as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Here, temperatures will be into the low to mid 70s across central Texas. Temperatures across east Texas will be warming ahead of here the storm system in a warm advection regime that will be here pumping in a lot of moisture, a lot of fuel for these storms to work with once they here arrive during the late afternoon and early evening. And then the dew point temperatures will be rising into the low to mid 60s across east central Texas. Dew points rising to near 70 degrees down toward Houston, into getting down towards coastal Texas. So a lot of fuel for these thunderstorms to work with. They'll also be producing a lot of heavy rain in addition to all the severe hazards here as well. All severe hazards are in play as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Very large hail, very damaging and strong winds, and also here some significant tornadoes here as well of EF2 or stronger are definitely possible, if not likely, into tomorrow afternoon and especially the evening here as well. Now, the significant tornado parameter here, this is on the NAM model, showing very high values, almost off the chart values here for this time of year, and especially just off the chart values here in general across east central Texas, getting maybe into far southern Oklahoma here, kind of centered around the Dallas-Fort Worth area down here, and then to the south toward Houston, getting down to Waco, College Station, and then here this will be kind of marching east through time into western and northwestern Louisiana, southwestern Arkansas as we head into Monday evening with an overnight tornado threat. Very dangerous here, especially as we get into northwest Louisiana, southwestern portions of Arkansas, and to northwestern Texas as we head into Monday evening. Now here's the high resolution model here depiction of how this will all likely play out. This is 6 a.m. here on our Monday, and you can see all is quiet here, a couple of showers across eastern Texas, and then you can see the thunderstorms will start to develop as we head toward late morning into the early afternoon. And around 11 a.m. here, central Texas, storms will start to fire up and get rocking and rolling here across central Texas from just west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, getting down here towards San Antonio. And these isolated discrete supercells here are possible, and these could be the ones to produce strong tornadoes, maybe even a violent tornado as we head into tomorrow, especially looking at some of the significant tornado parameters in place here across Texas. So a very dangerous day ahead, and this will only grow upscale a little bit more here into the afternoon. Some supercells, several supercells likely into the early to mid-afternoon tomorrow. And any one of these storms could be producing strong tornadoes. Even here up into northeast Texas, maybe far southern Oklahoma, don't here put your guard down, even if you're in a marginal or slight risk zone, because there's still a chance of tornadoes, and one of those could even be strong here as far north here as the southern Oklahoma Texas border there, and northern Texas border. So do be on the lookout for that here, especially north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But the greatest area of concern is going to be south of Dallas, Texas, where there is a chance of here, more supercellular activity, more instability, more moisture, more energy to work with for these storms to kind of remain more discreet and hold their own and produce some strong tornadoes Monday afternoon. Now, this is around 4 p.m. on Monday, and this is starting to We'll upscale into a line as we head into eastern Texas Monday afternoon. These storms will be moving eastward, and this is kind of centered around Dallas, Fort Worth, down through Waco, getting down towards San Antonio or just east of there, and then down towards here just west of Houston. So these storms will be rocking and rolling across eastern Texas throughout the afternoon, still with an ongoing increased tornado threat across here eastern Texas. And any one of these supercells along this line or broken line could be producing a strong tornado. So a very dangerous day is ahead. And these storms will continue to move eastward here. This is around dinner time, 6 p.m. A line of thunderstorms is developing with more of a damaging wind risk here. The tornado risk will still be there, especially along the kinks of this line. Also watching some supercells down towards Houston, Texas here that will still potentially remain discrete as we head into the early evening hours. And these will continue marching east towards Louisiana as we head through the evening, with a potent line of some strong winds, some large hail, and even still some tornadoes here potentially into portions of far eastern Texas, northwest Louisiana, maybe getting up into far southwestern portions here of Arkansas. The greatest tornado threat here, I think, will be around Shreveport, down through College Station, Houston, and then getting over here towards well west here of New Orleans as we head into the mid-evening hours tomorrow. And then these storms will continue pushing eastward. I am concerned about some heavier rainfall as these storms will kind of remain almost training over and stationary over northwest Louisiana, southeastern portions of Arkansas, getting back into east central Texas. These storms will just continue to move over the same area. So even if you have one severe thunderstorm warning in eastern Texas and you think you're done, there could be a couple more that come through as these storms kind of train over the same areas, and also adding a hazard of flash flooding as well. And then these storms will continue pushing eastward and kind of back building here into Texas and portions of Louisiana as we head into early Tuesday here. And we'll stop at 6 a.m. on Tuesday and see that kind of training, kind of almost an atmospheric river, if you will, here into portions of Louisiana, into Mississippi, and into eastern Texas here, just pumping a lot of moisture, a lot of heavy rain into these areas. So some flash flooding will be possible. Then the Storm Prediction Center's Day 3 categorical outlook has an even higher risk for severe weather than on Monday. A moderate risk of severe weather across south central Mississippi, eastern and southeastern Louisiana, with an enhanced risk surrounding that through central Mississippi, western Alabama, and into portions of south central and eastern portions here of Louisiana, with an even more volatile setup, I think, on Tuesday than on Monday. But the Monday setup here could still support some strong tornadoes. I think Tuesday's setup looks a little bit more here aggressive. I think that tornadoes will be even more likely on Tuesday as a very potent storm continues to move to the east here across the deep south. This is Tuesday's temperatures here, and you can depict it on the NAM model. You can see temperatures here in the low to mid 70s across portions here, south central Mississippi, getting down here into central portions of Louisiana, upper 70s to near 80 for areas like New Orleans, getting down here towards Baton Rouge. Here, Jackson, Mississippi, temperatures in the low to mid 70s here. So definitely a lot of fuel for these storms to work with. Dew point temperatures will be rising here, the mid 60s up and towards Jackson, Mississippi. Baton Rouge, dew points could be closing in on 70 degrees. New Orleans, 70-degree dew points. So a lot of moisture and a lot of heavy rain with these storms, in addition to all the severe weather hazards on Tuesday. The significant tornado parameter here on Tuesday looks a lot higher than on Monday, and these are off the chart values, especially here into portions of central and southern and southeastern Louisiana, getting up into southwestern and central portions here of Mississippi, kind of going along with the Storm Prediction Center's moderate category on their severe outlook. So a very dangerous day on Tuesday in the afternoon, and these storms will be ongoing. I think severe weather will be ongoing from the start Monday afternoon and late morning into the afternoon, and going all the way through Monday into the overnight hours, continuously or nearly continuously across Mississippi and into portions here of Louisiana. And these storms will pose a risk of all hazards, including strong and violent tornadoes, and potentially several of them. So do be on the lookout here, even into the overnight hours. We pick things up here at 6 a.m. on Tuesday, and you can see here that kind of atmospheric river type of setup here, and then these storms will kind of fade away a little bit here toward the mid-morning. and we'll kind of get this atmospheric river, if you will, to kind of move more eastward and pivot to the east. And this is where the dynamics come into play for Tuesday. This is around 9 a.m. Some heavy rain getting caught here into northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, northwestern portions here of Mississippi, far eastern Texas, with some very heavy rain, and here's maybe a few isolated spots of flash flooding, again, in addition to the severe weather threat. Then as we head into the late morning, a very potent line of severe thunderstorms looks to be unfolding across western portions of Mississippi down through central portions here of Louisiana, and along the leading edge, some very strong tornadoes could be possible, especially if we can get a supercell to develop ahead of the main line here and kind of stay discreet with itself. A potential for a few violent tornadoes is possible. EF4, EF5 type tornado setup here as we head into Tuesday. I would not be surprised if this setup does continue to show discrete supercells ahead of the main line here, with the potential for strong and violent tornadoes. If the Storm Prediction Center here upgrades some of this area in the moderate risk to maybe a small high risk as we head into the Tuesday time frame. So definitely have to keep on guard as we head into Tuesday, as it could be an even more dangerous day than Monday. And then kind of a bow echo develops across central and southern Mississippi, with winds pushing in through here, central Mississippi, Jackson, Hattiesburg, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and then down into portions here of central Louisiana. 70, 80, 90 mile per hour wind gusts are possible here, which could do just as much damage here as the tornadoes, folks. So a lot of potential for wind damage, a lot of large hail, a lot of heavy rain, and a potential for several strong tornadoes as we head into your Tuesday. This is 1 p.m. and this will be moving through the mid-afternoon. Then it will be moving in here towards portions of south central portions of Tennessee. More of a heavy rain threat there. The severe weather threat should stay down here into Alabama, pushing in around 4 p.m. Severe weather continuing across eastern Mississippi down through the New Orleans region. We've got to watch some of these storms down to New Orleans here. If they can remain a little broken along the southern flank of this line, could still have a threat for some strong tornadoes as we head into that time frame, and these storms will start to weaken as we head into Tuesday evening a little bit, with still some embedded scattered severe weather through portions here of central Alabama, getting down towards southern portions of Mississippi, down towards the New Orleans region Tuesday evening. Now, like I said, with this here, with the heavy rain threat, the Weather Prediction Center has a slight risk here of excessive rainfall for portions here of southwestern Arkansas, southeastern portions here of Oklahoma, east central Texas, getting into northwest Louisiana, and a moderate risk for excessive rainfall and flash flooding here across far eastern Texas into far northwestern Louisiana, around the Shreveport area, getting down here towards the Houston area. So there's a very high likelihood that some at least isolated flash flooding here is a possibility as we head into our Monday. And then on Tuesday, the slight risk of here excessive rainfall gets as far north as southern Indiana, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, much of middle and western Tennessee, and then getting down into much of the deep south and Dixie Alley here, with a moderate risk here of flash flooding and excessive rainfall across central Mississippi, portions of northeastern portions here of Louisiana, far southeastern Arkansas, getting into western and northwestern portions of Alabama, with some isolated to possibly scattered flash flooding and potentially dangerous flash flooding here as well, as these storms kind of train over the same areas and produce a lot of heavy rain, with those dew points rising here well into the 60s to near 70. A lot of moisture to be squeezed out here with these storms. Putting it all together here, you can see over the next several days a lot of rainfall here. In the purples, you can see rainfall around an inch. In the reds and maroon colors, you can see that's rainfall of 2+ inches here to about 2 to 3 inches. And then some lighter oranges here showing up, or tan colors, that shows the rainfall amounts up to around 4 inches. So a lot of rainfall kind of centered on eastern Texas, northern Louisiana, getting into northwestern and central portions of Mississippi, in the same zones that are going to have the severe weather hazards. So I do encourage you to be safe. Remember to practice your safe plan here as you head into Monday and Tuesday. The severe weather threat and flooding threat will continue into Wednesday. We'll get into that later this week as we get better model run-to-run continuancy on that to here kind of decipher the severe weather and flooding threat on Wednesday and later days. But I wanted to reach out to you to give you preparation for the upcoming tornado outbreak as we head into Monday and Tuesday. Remember to like this video. Remember to subscribe to my channel, as all week I will have content regarding the severe weather and tornado outbreak across the deep south and southeast. So thank you for watching my video.